Good morning, and welcome to Building Community Cross Collaboration across the state on Illinois State Advocacy for Adult Education, Continuing Education, and Workforce Development. Let me go ahead and share with you my screen. Okay. And it will start our show. All right, so welcome to Building Communication or Community. Communication is a big part of it. Cross collaboration across our state. My name is Angelique McGuire. I live in Illinois and I work for Illinois Eastern Community Colleges. I was the previous SAFE fellow for COABE, so that's the State Advocacy for Adult Education Fellowship. And for that entire year, my campaign, my purpose was to bring adult educators, continuing educators, and workforce development partners together so that we could talk about what is happening in our fields, how we can help our shared clients, how we could continue to explore options that are within our communities, within our regions, not just our specific programs, but how we could help each other so that we could grow our communities and help them to thrive. So let me unpack a few things for you. I do have QR codes on each of the slides that you will see. The QR codes will go to various opportunities for you to receive materials that I have collected throughout the year of research. It is an ongoing collaboration. So within Illinois Eastern Community Colleges, I am an adult education program administrator. I'm also on the IASA board, so the Illinois Adult and Continuing Educators Association. It is a state association supporting adult education across Illinois. I am also a CALE ambassador and have been for roughly 3 years now. So I completely support CALE, and I know most of you, like if you're watching this, you're at the CALE conference right now, as am I, and so I hope to see you in person as well. So just let me share a little bit with you about my year and not ramble. We are called the ACEWD Advocacy Committee. It has varied in partnership and membership throughout this year, and right now it is on pause. We are working with a lot that is happening at regional level, program level, state level, and national level concerning adult education, continuing education, and workforce development. And so I am looking forward to even tighter connections and a streamlined guided pathway going forward. I'm really excited about that. And if any of you, beyond what I have today for you, would like to just talk with me about our advocacy efforts throughout this past year, what we've done to stay in touch with one another, to communicate, and to evoke effective change, please feel free to reach out. I will give you that contact information at the end of this session. All right. So on our agenda today, I'm just going to share with you about our Illinois State Advocacy Committee, what COABE has meant to us. Of course, I would not have launched this powerful collaboration had it not been for the help of the Coalition of Adult Basic Education. And so we have opportunities, even without our national organizations and our state organizations, to effect change within our own communities and our programs for our students. I will introduce to you, we have a new SAFE fellow this year. His name is Luis Narvaez. And then we'll talk about some updates in national, state, and local level partners. and how the effects and benefits for you and your organization and community are, and then how you can be a part of a committee similar to this, or if you're interested in being a part of this committee. We know we don't only have Illinois members, we have national level members that represent adult education and continuing education and workforce development. So as an overview, Coalition of Adult Basic Education is an organization that seeks activists and leaders to champion the cause of adult education. So we work with the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. I know most of you have already heard of that acronym, and it does tie us together automatically already to that workforce element to make sure that our students work towards a goal while they're obtaining their foundational education, their continuing education track. So it is always a focus on a guided pathway. What are we doing now? What are we providing for our learners now? How can we get them to the next step? And what is out there that we can partner with our community employers and community stakeholders to push them in that direction to allow the community to thrive? Most of our learners, from what I have experienced, and I have been in education for roughly 15 years now, most of our, in higher education, sorry, most of our learners want to thrive in their communities. They have family within their communities. They want to grow that community. They want to see their children and their grandchildren grow and thrive. They want to set a precedent there. And so how can we help them do that? Well, the best way to help them do that is by partnering with you and by partnering with our employers. Employers are seeking people who are prepared to work in their facilities. They are equipped with the knowledge base, the foundational knowledge, yes, but the skill level and the soft skill level to be able to stay in that position, to grow their company and to grow themselves, and then to make, of course, that company stronger, and that in turn allows the community to thrive. Our vision, and if you ever want to start something very similar to this, just to have a cross collaboration with, of course, the direction that we're going with workforce development and making sure our students have guided pathways, effective career pathways, you'll always want to have a vision for your committee or and a mission. And we live with visions and missions. We work for programs that are out there to provide wraparound services to our community members, our students. And so we always have a vision in mind of what it is we want to bring to the plate, what it is we want to bring for our community. How do we want to evoke change, positive change within the community? And then we set forth that mission, that purpose to make sure that we allow that to happen. So our vision is to give adult educators and learners a voice. It's not just my voice as an adult educator administrator. It's not just our teachers' voices, and my teachers are very valuable and they are on the front lines when it comes to my students. But what people really need to hear about are your students and your community members and your learners' voices. They want to know what their people, as they are investing in our communities, as they are providing their energy and their attention to our communities, they want to know, why is this purposeful to me? And so that's where we bring in our learners. This is why it's purposeful for you. This is why our learners need to be able to step up. And if they don't have the ability to physically step up or to actually be there in that capacity, then you stand there in intercession for them and you be that voice for them. Help them evoke that change, help them to tell their story, because beyond anything else that I share with you today, that story is the most powerful way that you are going to connect with and collaborate with people within your communities and within your state to help spread awareness and bring change. So we seek as our mission activists and leaders to champion the cause of adult education and WIOA Title II programs. Yes, that is my focus. That is the field that I work in. What is your cause? What do you seek to champion? We advocate and we train for adult educators, adult learners, and friends of adult education. So again, I've worked this year with, of course, fellow educators, Regional Office of Education, Workforce Development, Illinois Department of Employment Securities, Department of Human Services. I've worked with libraries and faith-based organizations. Of course, we've worked with our employers and our small businesses, our local businesses, our entrepreneurs. We have worked with so many grant writers. We have worked with so many people that if we think outside the box, who really touches on my student's life? Who affects them? How can I reach out to this person that's going to help them get to that next level? I have to think about every angle. Is my student experiencing food insecurity? Is my student experiencing housing insecurity? Is my student experiencing crisis within their home because of lack of funding or lack of secure financial stability? How can I affect my student in a positive way so that when they come to my classroom and they are there to learn, yes, but they are holistically healthy? What can I help them along the way? What can I do to help them along the way to get to that point where they're ready to step into that next level? So about the Illinois State Advocacy Committee, yes, we do spend an hour a month on Zoom because we're across the state. Some of our members are across the nation, and actually coming together to meet together has not been an option yet. I would like to see that be an option in the near future. We do see each other at several conferences or regional meetings, but this is a way for us to come together and just spend a little time and say, hey, what is going on in your region? What is important to you right now? How can I help you with that? What can I bring awareness to within our community to help you and for us to be helped in the same light? So there's so much cross collaboration. We have brought in municipal partners as well as legislators, people who are strategic initiative directors that could help bring some awareness to policy and mandates. A lot of things that are changing. It is important to kind of stay abreast of the situation. And some of us just take for granted that, oh, I keep getting these emails. I know what they're talking about. I've been in this meeting and I've been in that meeting. But what about our partners? What if they're not part of that? How can we connect them so that we are not a best kept secret for our students? So again, I have a QR code for you. I have a survey each year that opens it up to the Illinois State Advocacy Committee, so I can find out what their most important or pinpoint what their most important focus is or what the most important target is. And so we had 4 areas of concern, 4 areas of, I would really like to find this out. I would like to unpack this. So the first one being upskilling opportunities, providing upskilling opportunities for not only our learners, but for our educators as well. How can I make sure that I am providing an opportunity for my teachers or my coordinators to grow in this field so that they see their value and they see that they can, they have a voice themselves and they can evoke change and they can bring about something that is purposeful and meaningful to them and really shine in this area. Because the stronger that we are collectively and the more we grow together, the better our students' voices will be heard. Connection between adult education and workforce development. So this is something that we've had to pull together and make sure that we are working together effectively, bringing referrals to our WIOA partners, or WIOA partners bringing referrals back to our foundational tutoring programs and education programs for our students so that they can go through alternative method of credentialing, or they can we can focus on credit for prior learning for them and give them a guided pathways through career and technical technical education. How can we merge that, helping them with what is best for your community college or what is best for your university? We have integrated career and academic preparation system, which is an integrated education and training. What is our focus? Why would we bring in an ICAPS program that is not an in-demand industry, high demand in our industry, within our industry? Why would we bring in something that is not going to benefit our employers or benefit our students? And so we have to have that cross collaboration so that we know that within the state of Illinois, specifically within our southeastern region, where our community college system is, it's healthcare and manufacturing. Those are the two main ones, as well as agriculture, early childhood. And we're seeing that some of this can affect change for the student and grow in an area where we have a barrier for those students. So transportation is a barrier. How can we push the student in a direction, help that student go in a direction where they can actually work towards that or work for that system that has previously potentially provided a barrier for them. One of our students, she wanted to go into early childhood. We have a childcare crisis within our region. That is a barrier for our students. So how can we help our students and empower them to work towards that and to narrow that barrier and be a part of the positive part of the change. So this particular student, she graduated with us through the alternative method of credentialing, and she went into early childhood. She is working on her degree. She has opened up her own daycare. So now she's an entrepreneur. She is a graduate. She started out with us without an Illinois State high school diploma. And now look where she is. And that is the positive change that we are wanting to see all of our students grow into. We want to see them experience what it is they need and attain their goals. We also provide local and state data. I do love doing research. That is something that is important to me, near and dear to my heart. How can I affect change positively if I'm not aware of what is going on within my field, within my region, for my students, for the state, and for the nation as a whole? So bringing that information, just snippets of information that is accurate, making sure that your resources are up to date and valid, is vastly important. And then finding those braided funding streams. That's one reason why we cross collaborate. We find out that within our partners, there's opportunities for funding. There's opportunities to grow our organizations, to find grants, to find scholarships for our learners. So it is vastly important to look at these 4 areas and establish a connection with those partners for your learners. So let's talk about our SAFE Fellowship. And I'm not sure if any other national organization provides a SAFE Fellowship. It's an advocacy fellowship for people who are within the fields or not. But this is a really great opportunity for you to learn and educate yourselves, to grow through something, to understand how to collaborate together and bring an awareness of your area, of your field, of your learners, to help your students become leaders within your community. And our newest SAFE Fellow within Illinois is Luis Narvaez. Luis works for the city, the Chicago City Colleges system, and he has his own platform, and so you will bring to the plate your own platform as well. So the SAFE Fellowship provides experienced educators with a demonstrated history of working in diverse and complex environments. So I would encourage you to look up Luis's story, find out more about him and about the organization that he works for, and how he is bringing about change within his communities. He has shared that he has several students who have gone through English as a second language for his programs, and graduating hundreds every year is quite a accomplishment. And this year, and I know this is going to sound like small potatoes, but our organization, we usually roughly go around 30 to 35 graduates each year. We reach 300 students for adult education, and an adult basic education, adult secondary education within our community college system. This year, because of the alternative method of credentialing and because of one of our partners reaching out to us and letting us know about this valuable option, we graduated 85. So we're seeing leaps and bounds. Students accomplish their tasks and to grow through their barriers and overcome some of those hurdles. One of the organizations that I was introduced to this year as the SAFE Fellow for 24-25 was ICER, the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights. I do understand our political climate and some of our organizations need to understand more about coalitions such as this on how we can help all of our fellow students, how we can help all of our fellow community members, how we can grow and evoke a positive change, and just see that education and workforce development and continuing that goal will strengthen not only our communities, it will strengthen a whole human body. It will strengthen our entire state and our nation if we come together and we start working together for a positive common cause to allow each of us to grow in this wonderful nation. A few areas that the Coalition of Adult Basic Education provides for our educators and for our students are industry recognized credentials. So industry recognized credentials allows a student to earn a quick certificate that provides them with a credential that they can put on their resume, and it gives them an opportunity to step into a sustainable employment. So much of what the Coalition of Adult Basic Education offers, they partner with Google Applied Skills. They partner with many of the online learning opportunities and provides free avenues to students to earn these degrees, to gain these skills, to grow in these areas. And this is a great starting point for all of us to be able to go through something and to expand our knowledge base and to expand our skill set. So one thing that I would implore you to do is to help your students learn to be leaders, equip them and empower them to grow in their field. And for them, for anybody really, we can all become educators. We can educate others on who we are, what we stand for, what our community stands for, what is most important to us. How can we continue to share an awareness so that we can grow and thrive? What is valuable to your community? What is valuable to your family? So the first goal is to lead a diverse, aligned network of stakeholders or partners to drive an impact at your local level, at your state level, and at your federal level. You might be thinking, I just don't really have the bandwidth for this. I don't have the time. I'm just one person. Nobody really listens to me. I really don't have the title. And we start to think about negative things that keeps us from being a positive light in an environment where it just takes one person to really be that voice and to share their story and how they were impacted by somebody coming alongside them and helping them through. I have a story. I have a story from whenever I was in high school and I was homeless my junior year, and I had a teacher that came alongside me and saw potential in me, and she said, I see somebody that is very powerful. I see somebody that is very bright and very beautiful and very equipped to move past your current state. Let me help you. And she stepped in and she helped me see something in myself that I did not see. And we have so many people that we work with now today that feel the same way, that they don't feel empowered, they don't feel strong enough, they don't feel like they have the tools or the knowledge to move ahead and to grow themselves and to help grow their families and grow their communities. So we have to work with them. We have to collaborate with them. And because of that teacher, I am now a program administrator. I have a master's degree. I am continuing my education. I am working in education. I am helping others just like myself, starting at ground zero and bringing them back out of that. I help evoke positive change by being there and providing them just a little bit of my time and providing them with that research, providing them with that knowledge. And you can too. So I would encourage you to engage in collaborative projects, even if it's at a start just within your organization. It can start with the cross departments, making sure that you have a TRIO program that is aware of the adult education program, that you have marketing program that sees the adult education program's needs, that you have the career and technical education program that understands how to work with the tutoring program and how the tutoring program can help them. And there's just so many opportunities here to work together to meet that one student's need. Build organizational visibility and recognition to inspire the field of adult education and continuing education and workforce development. Professionalize adult education. It is absolutely an intricate and valuable part of the educational stepping stone. And not everything and not everybody is a one size fits all. We all have an opportunity to go through school here in this nation. Education is a it is a value. It is not something that is that we are given, that is required of us. It is something that we are gifted. And so we want to make sure that our students are allowed that gift. Every student, no matter what walk of life, that they are allowed that gift of education. They are given the opportunity to explore education at every level, be it homeschooled, be it going through the public school system or going through a private school system, giving them the opportunity to educate beyond that school system if the K through 12 system did not work for them and there were barriers or deficits that could not be met during that system. How can we fix it if we cannot reach out to the student and find out what it is that they specifically need? It needs to become a unique pathway for each of us. Our second goal is to equip the field of adult education by increasing professional development. Providing an advocacy and data-driven research, a data-driven response for those who are not aware of what we do, what we provide, who see us as something that isn't effective, to see us as something that really isn't necessary. How can we give them a view, a picture of why we do what we do and that it is absolutely necessary? So we're going to expand our sphere of influence of adult education and continuing education research and workforce development for that research and data-informed policies. We're going to drive the future of adult learning by providing cutting-edge content. We're going to pull this together. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. Each of us has a little bit of information that we could bring together to see the full and the big picture. We're going to engage with local, state, and federal policymakers. That is vastly important that they understand what it is they're writing, what they're writing for, and why they're doing it so that they will continue to push that down the court. Our third goal is to empower our learners to engage through innovative programs and services that fill the gaps in these fields. We'll activate a voice of the learners to establish blueprints for members for membership recruitment, engagement, and retention. We'll provide the necessary resources, the skill building, and the innovative opportunities that not only CALE for the Council of Adult and Experiential Learning, but COABE and other national programs and state level programs provide for the learners and increase the learner's success by doing this. And then we'll build the adult learner champions and the general speakers of the adult learner champions within our local municipalities, within our states, and within the nation. Our fourth goal is to develop and implement a sustainability plan to fulfill that mission, increase organizational capacity through diversified funding, working together, bringing that braided funding together so we can help one another, enable boards such as the Coalition of Adult Basic Education and the staff to represent member interests and increase organizational and governance effectiveness throughout the local, state, and national levels, and then invest in staff capacity to support organizational transformation. We have done so at our local community college level by building an institutional outreach division, and that is what a part of adult education is. Continuing education, the career and technical education side works with the academic affairs, works with the student affairs and the student services and the business operations. We have collaborated with TRIO and marketing and with our data team and our IT teams to make sure that there is an awareness placed out there of who we are and how we affect change and who we serve. And make sure that you engage in organizations such as CALE to have the tools and the knowledge and the materials that you need for data-driven analysis and data-driven opportunities to share with those elevator speeches that you're given at times, with those times that you're allowed to walk in that door of that legislator's office or to walk in the door of your local mayor's office and to say, this is who I am, this is who I represent, and this is how I would like to help serve you and our community. Make sure that you are aware of who your state organization is for community action agencies and for community colleges, for the K through 12 system, for workforce development, workforce boards. Make sure you're aware of who your state support is and make sure that you are providing an opportunity to bring not only yourself into that organization, but others that you work with, others that you serve, so that they're aware of who they are because they are there for you. They are there to help grow you and grow your community. They have tools and knowledge of things that we do not have. So it's good to have them as a partner, an effective partner with you and your organization. Understand who your local level and your state level leaders are. Make sure that you make a connection with them. I understand that a lot of you don't have time to maybe walk across your city or across your town to go and walk into their doors, but find that time because actually seeing somebody face to face is very powerful. Making that connection is very powerful, and it becomes not only just a one-time connection, but it becomes a partnership and a relationship. And so meeting those people and finding out who they are as a person is going to be exponentially more important as you drive your purpose and your advocacy platforms to know how you can meet their needs as well. Find your success stories. Find those employers who absolutely want to share with you what they're doing for the communities already, how they can affect change. They understand once they've talked with you what your barriers are, and some of them will actually work towards, most of them will actually work towards those goals to help you overcome those barriers because we share our clients. My student is their employee. And so we want to absolutely make sure that they are holistically healthy. So for instance, one of our partners is Toyota Boshuku out of Lawrenceville. And Toyota North America has been providing on-site 24-hour daycare for their employees at their largest global site in Georgetown, Kentucky since 1993. And so we're seeing that need be met in Princeton, Indiana, which is very close to our borders. And a lot of our students actually work there and they take their children there. So that's an opportunity for them to have sustainable employment and to overcome that barrier of finding effective and valuable and safe childcare for their kiddos. Within Teutopolis, we have Stevens Industries, and they're very close to our district line. And Stevens Industries president and CEO announced the opening of TotMate, and they also launched a child care facility within their organization to help their students, or not their students, I'm sorry, our students, their employees, have a safe place for their children to be taken care of while their employees are working. And then we partnered throughout this SAFE fellowship with the North American Lighting, and North American Lighting is working on writing their story in this area, working on writing their story with the collaborative partnership with Clay County. And so we get to see that, and we get to be a part of that. Make sure that you know your educators, you know who is representing you, who is within your region, within your area. Meet with them. Find a time to meet with them or their office staff. Let them know that you are there for them, and that you appreciate their time, you appreciate their platform. If there's anything that you want to share with them about a concern, make sure that you've made that connection so you can sit down with them and you have that time given to you. And then give your students an opportunity to see that they too can go into those doors and make connections with local level, state level, and national level leaders that empower them to be leaders themselves, not just within their own communities, but they can be leaders beyond. Empower them to see the leadership quality within themselves. And one way that you can do that is by looking at your national level organizations like CALE and looking for opportunities to grow them, and to find scholarships and grant opportunities and initiatives that's going to encourage them to rise above. This past year, one of our huge success stories, Miss Joanna Miller, and I did receive permission before sharing this with you. She had been with us for 5 years in adult education, trying to get her Illinois high school diploma. She struggled and had a deficit, a barrier with math, and math is what kept her with us. And so it provided a barrier that kept her without sustainable employment. It kept her very depressed, and she started to feel like she could not accomplish it. And once we start to feel like we can't accomplish something, then that becomes very powerful. It becomes the biggest voice in our head, and we don't have that opportunity to overcome that without help. And so we stepped in and helped her with the alternative method of credentialing. We found that she had more than enough credits to help her obtain that Illinois high school diploma. And she has since moved on. She graduated this year with us. She got that promotion within her organization. She has found her next step, her next goal to help her family. And we are so very proud of Joanna and the Joanna Millers that we have. And I know that most of you, if not all of you, have a story that you can just think of right now, that person, that student who has been in that situation where they just didn't feel like they could overcome it. And they've been told no, they've been beaten down, they sometimes beat themselves down, and they couldn't get out of the same four walls that they've put themselves in, or that their life situation has put them in. So allow that student to overcome and to rise above. Show them that they can be a leader. Everything that you do Everything that you choose to do for your organization, for your teachers, for your students, for your local and state level and national level leaders evokes positive change. Um, Make sure that you have an opportunity to read through materials that comes your way that actually shows something that can help your students. Make sure that you bring that to your community partners, yes, but make sure you bring it to your organizational partners. Start small. Start working with the partner that is in the next building on your campus or that is across the town, and knowing that they can actually give tools that you need and materials that you need to help bring your learner out of their impoverished situation, or bring your learner an opportunity for employment advancement, or bring your learner an opportunity to further their education. Make sure that you obtain that material. And by doing that, and when I say make sure that you do that, reach out to your partners, reach out to me, see how we can help each other evoke positive change and bring about a cross collaboration for our brothers and sisters. Unleash the power of transformative partnership. So we want to support our partners. We want to let them know that, yes, we are here for you too. We are here for everyone. We are here to work in this together. So increase reliable and predictable funding for the public workforce system and management of partnerships that improve outcomes for adult learners. Find key funding streams. Align with WIOA supplemental funds, for example, SNAP benefits, SNAP E&T, TANF benefits, and other streams to support adult education, post-secondary education, and workforce development, such as expanding work-based learning programs that have close connections with our employers. And include people beyond the continuing education realm, beyond adult education, beyond workforce education. Include libraries, community-based organizations, the Department of Corrections, faith-based organizations, housing and hunger organizations that improve the attainment of education and employment outcomes. So I thank you for joining me today. I thank you for being here. I thank you for really just having a desire to find out more about how to build community and building collaboration across the state, how to be a voice for yourself, for your organization, for your teachers, for your learners, how to be that voice and evoke positive change. So I thank you for your advocacy efforts so far, because you are an educator, because you are an employer, because you work for the Workforce Development Board, or you are a community leader, you are already an advocate. So I thank you for supporting adult education and workforce development. If you would like to find out more about the ACEWD Illinois State Advocacy Committee, or find out more about how you can start something very similar to this, or how you can reach your leadership within your community and your state and your nation, please feel free to reach out. My contact information is below, 618-599-3089. You can email me at mcguirea@iecc.edu. And you can find out more through the Coalition of Adult Basic Education and the Council for Adult and Experiential Learning, CAEL.org. I thank you, and you have a wonderful day, and enjoy the conference. I hope to run into you there. Bye-bye.